The tragic tale of Speaker Knockerz, one of the most influential rappers of my generation, who sadly passed away too soon. Derek McAllister, born November 6, 1994, spent some of his early childhood in New York, but all that would change when his pops got into something. His dad got sentenced to 10 years in prison, and when that happened, bro, whole life would change. His mama was like, look, I don't even want to be up here no more. It's bad. It's too much going on up here in New York, so we gotta go. She decided to move, but not too far, because she stayed on the East Coast and moved to Columbia, South Carolina. And when they got there, bro started to change for the better. Around 2009 to 2010, it was a rapper who was really taking over the game. Someone who was changing the world, really looking at it. Introduced the world to internet rappers. Soulja Boy. And the rapper he ended up influencing was Speaker Knockerz. And before I keep going, I'm gonna be calling Speaker Knockerz SK for the rest of the video. SK seen the video Soulja on FL Studio, and that had him thinking like, bro, this look kind of tough. He out here making beats off his own computer. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be on that too. And that was really the second thing to inspire, because it go deeper than just seeing the video on the internet. His dad had made beats and music before he went to jail, so that kind of rubbed off on SK, and he was kind of like, you know what I mean, following in his dad's footsteps. And really looking at it, he started so much of this because of his dad. But when SK first tried to get FL, he seen it was expensive. They do be taxing on these softwares, and SK ended up doing what he had to do. Really done did something probably all of us done did before. He cracked FL. He was only 13 at the time. He ain't had no money, so he had to do what he had to do. Basically, cracking the program is going on some website getting it for free. And when he got FL, he just started to make some beats. He seen what Soulja did and wanted to give it a try. And at first, it wasn't going good. For the next few years, he was just trying to make some money off making his music, but it ain't work out. And around this time, he started to get into it with his mama. They was constantly arguing all the time, and it just was so much for bro, so he ended up dropping out of school. But that decision ain't helped, because it just made the arguments happen more often. At this point, he don't got nowhere to go. He don't go to school for 6 to 7 hours a day. He just in his room making beats, and that probably was fueling his mama anger, so she was getting mad, and he was just in his room making beats. And eventually, she started spazzing at bro, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a job, whatever. So he went out, applied 10, 15 different spots, but none of them hit him back. And so he went right back to what he did before. Just sat in his room all day making music. But like I said, his mama ain't like that, and she eventually got tired of him just being in the room all the time and kicked him out the crib. And when she did that, he locked in. He just went out, just kept making music. He just kept doing his thing. And during that time he was out the crib, he ended up making his first profit off his beats. You gotta think about it. Around that time, it was real hard to make any money offline, so he just dropping 4 to 5 beats every day. And eventually it started to look up for him. Right around the time he made his first money off them beats, his mama let him back into the crib, so he sold that beat. Boom, $50. And he was smart with that 50. He invested it right back into the music and bought some speakers. And soon after getting these speakers, he was really feeling his music, because he would hop on the phone with his pop sometimes and just play his music, let his dad hear the beats, let his dad hear everything that he was working on. And over these next few months, bro life was getting crazy. His pops got out and started to help him work on his own music. And then it was like them two was just locked in, grinding. And it got to a point where SK started to rap on his own beats. And in 2010, he would drop his first tape of just him rapping. Flights delayed. But he felt like rapping on his beats was just a way of promoting his beats, you feel me? So look, he get on the track, he rap. People like, oh, who made that beat? Oh, nigga, I made that beat, tap in. So really, rapping wasn't even what he was doing at first. He was just trying to get his beats out there. But over these next few months, bro would only go up. Making all these beats was finally paying off. Around this time, he started to get some crazy placements. Gucci, Young Scooter, French Montana. Bro was going so crazy. I'm talking about he was making good money, and eventually bought a black mirror off all that money he was making off them beats. And over these next few years, he was just working, stacking his bread. But 2013 will be the year that would really change everything. He dropped 2 tapes, Married to the Money and Finesse Father, but September would be when his life turned. He dropped the vid to his song Rico's Story. And if you don't remember, Rico's Story was iconic. It was going crazy. I remember back in middle school, niggas used to be talking about that whole song series every day, but that ain't what really put the world onto him. It would be when he dropped his song Long. This is a song the whole world loved. This one song was really like the turning point in how rap sounded. A few years before this song, Kanye dropped one of the most controversial rap albums, 808s and Heartbreak. This album would change the rap game forever. It was just so different from everything else at the time. Just think about how the game was. It was just people rapping, but this album made it acceptable to be melodic and different. And I don't know if they noticed it at the time, but like I said, this album changed the game forever. And over the next few years, these more melodic rappers and songs would come out, and yeah, the game was changing crazy. But when Lonely blew up, this really changed everything. It influenced so many kids or people rapping at the time. It was like SK was a mix of all the rappers we listen to today in one. That man was a pioneer to the sound we got today. I guarantee you most of these big rappers that we listen to today got some influence from Speaker Knockerz. Take Uzi for example, Roddy Ricch, Kodak Black, even Drake had something to say about bro. But when Lonely dropped, it blew up, kind of how songs blow up today. Today, a song will blow up, you'll see it all over TikTok. Back then, when Lonely blew up, it was all over Vine, all over Twitter, everywhere. And this was the turning point in his career. Yeah, he was going up, but this really put him on. And he took advantage of all that. He was just lining up hits. And people started to look at bro like he was gonna be around for a long time. And the labels realized that. They all started to reach out to bro, but he was smart. He ended up starting his own label, Taliban's, which you can see on his Twitter and him talking about. But he also didn't sign because he wanted to own 100% of his music. It ain't really many artists you see moving like that today. And at the end of February 2014, he would drop his song Erica Kane. And something the world ain't realized at the time was this was the last song he'd ever dropped. Cause just a few days after this, everything fell apart. When March started, he really disappeared from everywhere. Nobody could get in contact with him or nothing. And so the people around him started to panic. Like, think about it. He ain't show up to no studio sessions, interviews, or nothing. He was just gone. And it was so bad that his mama even posted about it. It's not like him to communicate or come home for this long period of time. I pray that my son is okay. And after days of everybody wondering if he was straight, truth finally came out on March 6th, 2014. After getting reports of him being missing for days, 12 decided to go check out his house. And after not getting the answer at the door, they did what they had to do, forced themselves into the crib. And when they got in, they found bro dead in the garage, laying right beside his black Camaro. SK passed away at 19, before he could even live his life, before he could even enjoy the success of his career, before he could even see how influential his music would be. And when he did pass, his mama came out and had something to say. She said, for a while leading up to his passing, he was kind of sad and depressed because his girl was allegedly cheating on him. And his mama said that he'd been crying over her cheating and just wasn't himself. But it was one thing about his passing that we don't know how he actually passed away. The only thing the family said was it didn't have nothing to do with no drugs or natural causes.
And you don't want to reveal like what really happened to him and all that.
Not just yet. I will one day, but just not now. I feel comfortable right now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's understandable.
But when he passed away, it affected the whole game. It was like everybody was showing their respect. And just a few months after passing, Kodak dropped a remix alone. And over the next few years, so many rappers will pay respect to bro. And so many people made music influenced by his sound. And even to this day, people still show their respect to Speaker Knockerz.
Even to Speaker Knockerz?
Yeah, facts. It's crazy because when I came out, that's what I was listening to too. So that's why I was saying like, it's all a cycle.
Rest in peace to one of the most influential rappers of the 2010s. The rap game definitely wouldn't be the same without bro.